Okay, we're starting to head into the final spot, and this one has turned to be the most disappointing. Not because of no features or anything like this, but as you can see here, there's very large rocks. And what happened was, we came here, we got reports from the WCOs, and they put all kinds of huge rocks out into the water. So we'll talk more about that in a few seconds here. Okay, the disappointment soon turned to actual happiness here. What happened was, we found the spot. And this is another spot where the WCO let me know about it. This is a known carp fishing spot where people come and have caught some. And one really nice feature about this I really like, it's the end of the main lake where it dips around the point, which we'll show you in a second. But it's deep. It's like 25 to 30 feet deep right away.
Very quickly.
You have, very quickly. So you have a lot of possible structure, which we found on the on the map and doing the marker. Now the problem was, Brian was here the one day. He's putting out bait. Just gets done baiting it up. We're going to fish it on the weekend, and the Fish Commission was adding structure to the lake, which usually is they dump a bunch of stuff out in the water, and it screws up the shore fishermen. Because as soon as you cast out, you get stuck in it every which way you can, because it's only like 10 feet apart. So there's no chance of you ever casting past it and bringing a fish through it, because it's just not going to happen.
Now their idea with this though, and I talked to the WCO, was that it is easily accessible for most people to fish to. And that's all fine and dandy, but they don't take into the consideration of, okay, I'm playing a fish inwards. I'm not out in a boat casting to the shore and then bringing it towards the boat, towards open water where there is no structure or the nests that they make for the fish. And we're not against like helping fish repopulate the water or anything like that, but when you're on the shore and you cast out and you're bringing in a fish of sizable means, like anything over 10 pounds, it's not a dumb fish. It's been alive long enough to know that I'm hooked. I need to get somewhere and get safe. And where's it go?
Right out to the snags.
Right out to the snags.
Yeah. And when they're man-made, they're usually extremely, almost impossible to get out of. If you have a log out there, it's a little bit different. If you have huge boulders and boxes and everything, you're never going to get a fish out of there. And if you do, it's a miracle. You should go play the lottery, because you just achieved what most people will never do.
Yeah.
So, we come here, we just pulled up, and we're talking about wanted to do the videos here, and we look over and there's a hump over here. They piled up all the dirt and stuff, and we look over and it's like, this is just like the other Euro spot we just showed in the last video. So I guess we'll name this Euro spot number 2 now.
Yeah.
As you can see, I'll show you with the thing. See how they have little islands here the whole way down, and about every 10-15 feet they have an island. And Brian's just about to take out filling it out with the lead, because we're concerned they have these boats, these barges that they dump rocks from, and I could see some over there, but out there I can't see anything peeking up. So he's going to cast out real quick, and we're just going to see if we can feel anything real quick. Maybe the spot that we thought was ruined really turned into something better thanks to the Fish Commission. So if it did, thumbs up to them. If it didn't, we have other spots.
Yes.
So he's going to do that right now with the lead, and I'm going to film him doing that.
I got a bigger lead and a marker with me.
So basically all he's doing, he just put a lead on, and he's just going to cast out and just feel it. Because if there's something huge out there, you're definitely going to be able to feel it when you wind in. So this is just one of the ways that if you can't get a map with all the habitat, this is one way that you can kind of tell what's out there. So we'll zoom in here and see what we got going on. So far so good. And he's just going to do basically how you do when you have a marker float on. You're basically just kind of dragging it back slowly, and you'll be able to feel any sort of box or feature or rocks out there. And we're just doing a quick. We're not even, at this point we don't even care what the bottom feels like, even though we've already done this. We just want to see if there's structure out there. And we'll cast probably a lot of times just to go up and down the bank to see you know, if we feel anything, if there's snags. If there's no snags, then we're going to start baiting this spot up again and start fishing it, because this was a really decent spot as well. So we'll get into that here soon. But Brian's just reeling now. So far so good. You haven't felt anything yet, right?
It's just weed.
Just weed
and silt.
Weed and silt, so that's a good thing.
Now I'm locked up in some weed.
Okay, he's locked up in weed, but at least he can get out of that. Okay, we're good with that. We can handle that. Weed's fine. Yeah, a little bit of weed's not going to hurt anything. Yeah, that's just such a small amount there. You can see when he winds that in. It's like, what, a foot or two of weed?
Yeah.
So that's nothing. That's nothing at all. That's not going to hurt any of our fishing. We can make a rig that's going to be able to fish in that.
And it's dying off because it's... Now, if you look at that, you can see that it's not getting the chlorophyll it needs during the sunlight hours, because the sunlight is not as long now during the summer. Mm-hmm. So it's turning brown, it's dying off. So that's something to look for whenever you're fishing in the autumn times, because that's not going to be a problem for you very long.
Yeah, and that's going to be dying off soon, and it won't be an issue.
No.
Pretty soon it's just going to deteriorate, and it'll just become part of the bottom, and it won't be an issue for... You still have to worry about the hooks a little bit, getting caught in that, but for the most part, if you put like a little pop-up on or just something to suspend it off the bottom, you're going to be perfect. So first cast was good. Brian's going to do a few more, and then we'll talk about this spot here in a second. Alright, so good news here. Thumbs up to that. We really thought the spot was ruined because we thought they're just dumping boulders into the lake to make habitat, and it turns out they made these little islands, which we always call like the Euro Islands, because it looks like a, like a syndicate overseas where, you kind of walk out and cast. So we're pretty pumped on this one.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, very much.
Yeah, so a spot we thought was going to be pretty good, then was ruined, is now good. And who knows, maybe we'll do a fish in here or something like that, get a little get-together. There's pegs for everybody. There's like 20 pegs here.
Oh, yeah.
And,
open ground behind you, you can set up a brawley, or even, with a pop-up kind of like a gazebo.
Yeah.
Traveling gazebo kind of thing, and
got bathrooms. Got bathrooms.
Wonderful bathrooms. They keep very nice. They keep very nice bathrooms here. They're always well taken care of, always clean. They don't smell.
Now the thing is, when you look out here, again, you don't see any features. All the features are underwater. So that becomes a big part of carp fishing in the United States, especially because a lot of lakes are like this. You don't really see any of the structure. Like I can't cast to a tree, I can't cast to an opposite bank here or anything like that. Everything's underwater. So learning where the drop-offs are and where like it might go from gravel to mud or vice versa, or just a different change in the bottom isn't enough to hold fish. And again, we didn't see much of a food source here, but we did see fish, so that's a good indicator. Take the time to walk around your lake and look around, because just sitting there for an hour or two is better than casting out a lead and casting out your bait and stuff and just hoping for the best. Yeah. You're better off sitting and watching and observing than to just plunk down somewhere and hope for the best.
Yeah, 10 minutes in the right spot's better than a whole week in the wrong spot.
Exactly. Which that has happened before. So,
yeah, lots.
And so yeah, we're gonna see what we can do out here. Next we'll probably talk about some bait application, doing marker work out here, and some other stuff. Depending on like the rest of the season, how the weather is, we'll determine if we have videos this year or maybe even next year, but we'll see what we can do. And yeah, we're just gonna do different series like this. We're just gonna pick a lake that we talked about and see how we want to approach it, tackle it, and hopefully get some fish on the bank, which I'm sure we will at some point here.
I hope.
So we'll have some more videos coming up soon, but thank you for watching. And if there's anything you want to see involving like trying out a new lake, let us know. Obviously we still have some more parts going on to this, but if there's something you want to learn about, let us know, and we'd be glad to show you.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So, thanks for watching. Till next time.
Tight lines and wet nets.
All right.